dear students, the unit Diversity in Living World is again divided into 4 chapters. The first chapter is Living World, second one Biological Classification, third one Plant Kingdom, and the fourth one is Animal Kingdom. Let us begin with the first chapter, the Living World. When we talk about the living world, when do we say that something is living? We say something is living when they show some characteristic features such as growth, they have to show metabolic activities, their body should be organized by either cells, tissues, organ or organ system, they should respond to stimuli. All these things defines a living organism. Now, when there are so many organisms present, we have to know these organisms by names. And when we give names, these names have to be accepted throughout the world. For this, we have a universal system of scientific naming which is called binomial nomenclature. Here, all the organisms are given 2 names. The first name is a genus name or the generic name, and the second one is the species name or the specific name. These names are accepted worldwide. So, with this information, let us solve the first question of this chapter. A taxonomic group of any rank is called, options are clade, category, variety, taxon. Clade. Clade is nothing but a group of organisms which have a common ancestor. Now, this common ancestor can be a species, it can be a population, etc., but it basically shares a common ancestor, that is called clade. Second one, category. Category is actually an abstract term which suggests a particular rank in the taxonomic classification. For example, the term genus, the term family, the term species, these are all nothing but what we call category. Then variety. Variety is actually a rank which comes after species or after subspecies. Taxon. Taxon is actually a term which shows the actual biological group or the organisms which are present at a particular rank. For example, when we say genus Hibiscus, genus is the category and Hibiscus forms the taxon. So, taxon is nothing but the real living organism present at a particular rank. The next question, students. Arboretum is a part of botanical garden where the options are bonsai are made, crop plants are grown, seeds are stored, and the last option, big trees are cultivated in the form of forest. In this, we can see that the option C, that is seeds are stored, can be termed seed bank. Arboretum or what we call arboretum is nothing but an area where big trees are cultivated in the form of forest. A and B are basically to mislead you people or to distract your attention. So, the right answer is D, big trees are cultivated in the form of trees. Next, which of the following is not included under in situ conservation? Conservation is of 2 types, in situ and ex situ. In situ conservation is nothing but the organisms are conserved or protected in their natural habitats. Wherever they are living, there only they are given protection and they are conserved. Ex situ conservation, where the organisms are taken from their habitat and they are provided with an artificial habitat, for example zoo. So, here the options are national park, sanctuary, botanical garden, biosphere reserve. So, in these 4 options you can see which of the following is not included under in situ conservation, that is where it is not conserved in its natural habitat. National park, sanctuary and biosphere reserve, these are all examples of in situ conservation since the organisms are protected in the natural habitats. Only option C, that is botanical garden, is an example for ex situ conservation because it is an area where different types of plants are brought and grown. So, the right answer is C, botanical garden. Species is, the options are population of individuals with similar genotypic and phenotypic traits, population of one type, population of interbreeding individuals, group of individuals occurring in a geographic area. So, here you can see when do you call a group of organisms a species or they belong to the same species. Organism, just if they are similar in their morphological characteristic features or in their morphological characters, cannot be considered a species. We can call the similar organisms species only when they can interbreed, when they can reproduce among themselves. So, here you can see the right option over here is the third option or option C, population of interbreeding individuals. In which book Bentham and Hooker proposed the classification or proposed their classification? Options are Genera Planetarum, next one Species Planetarum, third one Historia Planetarum, last one Historia Animalium. To begin with, option A, Genera Planetarum. Genera Planetarum is the right answer. Bentham and Hooker, they proposed their classification in the publication Genera Planetarum. Species Planetarum is nothing but the publication done by Linnaeus, where he had classified living organisms into plants and animals. Historia Planetarum. Here, plants were classified by a taxonomist Theophrastus. The last one, Historia Animalium. This was the publication done by Aristotle, where he had classified animals into different groups. Dear students, now let us discuss some questions based on the chapter Biological Classification. In the previous chapter, we have studied about the different characteristic feature exhibited by living organisms. Now, if we need to study the organisms, then it becomes mandatory to have a systematic classification pattern. Different taxonomists have given different types of classification. Linnaeus gave the two kingdom classification, where he classified organisms into two groups, Plantae and Animalia, or in simple words, group of plants and group of animals. Then once plants and animals were classified into two groups, there were organisms which were very minute, which cannot be placed in Plantae, neither they can be placed in Animalia. So, there was a need for another kingdom where the smaller organism or the simple eukaryotes can be placed. This led to the third kingdom, which was actually given by E. Haeckel. So, he gave the three kingdom classification, where one more kingdom was added, and that kingdom was kingdom Protista. So, in this kingdom, all the smaller organisms, that is the simple organisms like the characteristic feature which does not match with the multicellular organisms or plants present in Plantae, neither it matches with the multicellular organisms present in animal, such organisms were placed in Protista. Then, after this, when organisms were further studied, taxonomists came to know that there are again some organisms which were not showing characteristic features with which they can be kept or they can be given a place in Plantae or in Animalia or in the new kingdom, that is Protista. This led to the development of the 4-kingdom classification, where one more kingdom was added. This was done by Copeland, 4-kingdom classification, and the 4th kingdom was added, which was kingdom Monera. This kingdom was exclusively meant for prokaryotic organisms. Now, let me just give you an idea what is the difference between pro and eukaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic organisms are the one which do not possess true nucleus, that is the genetic material is not covered by a nuclear membrane, whereas the eukaryotic organisms are those wherein a true nucleus is present, that is the genetic material is enclosed within a nuclear membrane. Then finally, the 5-kingdom classification came into existence. This was given by R.H. Whitaker. He added the 5th kingdom, which was kingdom fungi or kingdom mycota. This group actually consists of organisms which are achlorophyllous and shows heterotrophic type of nutrition. So now let us solve few questions based on this information. Let us see the first question. Which of the following has a doubtful status? The meaning of this question is which cannot be placed properly in the existing 5 kingdoms. Options are bacteria, bacteriophage, blue-green algae and pleuropneumonia like organisms. Now, if you see the options, option A, C and D, all these are organisms which belong to the kingdom Monera, that is these are all prokaryotes. Now, if you see, these organisms are placed in Monera and they have the features of Monera. For example, they do not have true nucleus, the characteristic feature which defines them as Monera. Now, the second option, what is called bacteriophage, though the name is similar to the first option, bacteriophage is actually a virus. The virus which specifically attacks bacteria and kills them are called bacteriophage. We are all aware of the status of virus, that virus exhibits both living as well as non-living characteristic features. So, they cannot be kept in any of the 5 kingdoms. That is why the right option is B, bacteriophage.